Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. We're outside and it's supposed to be a little bit cooler today, but I don't think so. The heat index is still in the high 90s already, and it's only like 10 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know that we'll be playing outside very much today, but we are outside on the porch right now, and the bubble gun is going in full force. And I don't know if Lawson will play in his splash pad today or not, but I wanted to check on the peas that I was looking at the other day, and I can see from here that it looks like they probably are going to be ready tomorrow. So I probably won't have to pick peas today, but more than likely we'll be picking squash and probably some okra. And the tomatoes look a little bit better this morning. I'll be picking some jalapenos off of one of those jalapeno plants. And I've got to figure out what I'm making for supper tonight. So that's what's going on. Okay, it's about 11:30 and Lawson will probably go down for a nap between now and 12:30. So I'm gonna cook him some oatmeal for lunch. He's been having some tummy trouble, so I'm just gonna make this for him and hope that that doesn't hurt his stomach. Once a month, I like to take all the decorative pillowcases off and wash them. So I'm going to change the sheets on our bed today, and I'm going to do that also. So I'm outside as usual. I'm gonna take these pea holes and dump them in the chicken pen and see what else I can do out here before I melt. What up, Bojangles? Hey girls. They love peas. Looks like the pumpkins are having a hard time, just like they did last year. At this point in the day, the sun is directly on top of them. And by this evening, when the sun goes behind those trees back there, this will all be shaded and it all perks back up. There's a chance we might get a thunderstorm this evening. It's not a very good chance. There's a higher chance tomorrow, but this will have to be watered this evening if we don't get any rain. And then back here, this is the back garden. We've planted tomatoes back here before. We've planted several different things. We switch it up every year. And we had our climbing beans planted here where my husband put these panels up to trellis them, but the rabbits just ate them every time they sprouted. So no beans on this trellising this year. And here's the other crop of peas. They've done pretty well. I've picked a good bit of peas back here. I picked yesterday evening, so there really aren't any ready today. But there's plenty of peas on the plants. We've got some squash running through here too. Yesterday, I've been really conscious and looking to make sure I don't see any snakes. And I actually didn't know this squash plant was running through here. So when I saw that, I actually screamed. Because when you're worried you're gonna step on a snake, anything that's out of the ordinary or unexpected is a snake for the first half a second. And over here, we have more cucumbers planted that are running up this old swing set, and they're struggling. This heat is just unbearable. I see a couple of little bitty cucumbers that are not really ready to pick. But other than that, there's not much going on back here. And over here on the edge, we have another row of peas that are almost ready. We also had some squash planted back here, but they did not survive. If you saw our earlier videos in the summer, back here is where the blackberries were, the wild blackberries. Y'all, it is just entirely too hot to exist outside. My husband, most of you know, if you've been watching us for a while, my husband does construction, and this week is the week of the Neshoba County Fair, and that's in the neighboring county from where we live. Let me know in the comments if you've ever heard of the Neshoba County Fair, but that week is notorious for scorching heat and usually rain. It rains normally the entire week, or maybe not normally, but it's very common for it to rain the entire week of the Neshoba County Fair. And my husband's doing a roof this week, so he thought that was pretty ironic that he had a roof to do. He was really worried that it was going to rain the entire week just because it was the fair, and that's what happens. But we're definitely having the notorious heat, even if it's not raining the whole week. I'm over here picking the last remaining peas on this first row, and I'm looking at these other peas that are going to be ready this weekend, and y'all, they are drying before they even turn purple and get fully filled out. That's how hot it is. My weather app says that it's currently 94 with a heat index of 103. It's got to be worse than that though. Gosh. I will say the tomato plants look like they're struggling really bad, but that's just because the peas that we pulled out of here, you know, those vines are brown. You know, obviously they're dead, and they're tangled up in the tomatoes, so it makes the tomatoes look like they're not doing good, but the tomato plants are actually fine. But what I'm most excited about is the jalapeno plant. Look at that. There are so many on there. I'm tempted to pick that one right there, but I'm gonna leave it. Got a few okra that are ready, so I'm gonna pick those, and then I'm going inside. Before I go inside, I wanted to tell y'all that we did figure out what those other beans were. The ones that were kind of pink or purple that we picked along with the Blue Lake beans. They're black beans. So my husband planted black beans over here in these culverts that he cut up. And we've used these several years. We've been planting stuff in them for a couple years. But he planted black beans, which we've never grown before. And they didn't come up. And he forgot about them. And then he planted the Blue Lake bush beans on top of where he planted them because he thought that they weren't going to come up. Well, turns out both beans came up. So they're both growing in here and they're all tangled up together and we couldn't even tell the plants apart. So that's what happened with that. For supper tonight, I did not thaw anything out, so I'm just going to use whatever meat is in my refrigerator, which is sausage, and I'm going to cut up whatever vegetables I have on hand. We're going to have just a random southern stir fry with some rice and some peas. I found some carrots and some more onion that I really needed to use up, so I cut that up and added it to the bowl. These are the peas that I picked yesterday and shelled, and they've been sitting in the refrigerator. Like I said, we're going to have peas tonight, so I'm just going to get those washed up and pick out any that don't look great and get those started. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon, so I'm going to put some bacon in them and let them cook on low. Well, I don't know if it's really going to do it, but it looks like it could rain any minute, and I sure hope it does. Woo! It's thundering, it's lightning, the wind's blowing. You hear the thunder? The older I get, the more I love to sit out on the porch when it's raining and drink coffee. But it's way too hot to do that. Maybe an iced coffee. Definitely not gonna make any hot coffee for that. I will say the temperature has dropped a good 10 degrees, I think. So we'll take whatever it's gonna do. Normally after it rains, it's just suffocatingly hot and humid. But, oh, here it goes, y'all. It is raining. Thank you, Lord. Y'all, it looks like it is set in. The radar looks like it might rain for about an hour. I don't know if it will, but it looks like it's going to. Well, it actually started raining super hard and it was really loud outside. So I didn't film anymore on the porch, and we both just came inside, and I decided to go ahead and start on supper because the power was actually trying to go out. And I thought I better get this done just in case we don't have power in a little while. It did not go out, but I went ahead and got supper going. We got this random southern stir fry and some rice, and my peas were already ready because I got those going earlier in the day. Lawson was hungry already, so he got his supper about 10 minutes before Dusty got home, which is always the best part of the day. I thank y'all so much for hanging out with me today and every day that you do. If you haven't already, I wish you'd subscribe and follow along with my little family. I hope that you are blessed and encouraged. Until next time, bye y'all.